Hello, YouTube. It is July, and we've got a lot of small things that have been kind of adding up that are coming out soon or currently happening in Final Fantasy XI. And today we're just going to take a walk through what those things are. And without further ado, let's pull it up. So the first thing we got was a few weeks ago, maybe a week ago. Where's time? Okay. Is this? We got a slight preview of the next version update scheduled for mid-July. Brings with it a new high-tier battlefield and the monthly updates to Ambu. So that was like the teaser, but they released a little bit more information like a day or two ago. I don't know. I haven't read it yet. But before that, there's a couple of small things. For starters, right now, the Celestial Knights campaign is currently going on, and that is this banner here. And there's like an event thing where, I don't know, you can read this for yourself if you want to do the actual event. The main reason I bring it up is because if you go to the, here's all the different items you can get this year. If you go to the Moogles selling items at these locations, they have a lot of individual like lock style pieces for sale that are like summer themed and just like it's easy. You just pay 5K or 7K or whatever, 10K for the yukatas. A bunch of nice lock style stuff that you can get right now for super cheap and not have to put in any effort in figuring out how to do these events. But to each their own. Some people really enjoy this stuff. I just like to have access to extra lock style pieces. So that's going on right now. And the next thing that was announced is the login campaign. So I guess there's now a Leafkin bed. That's adorable. Yeah. So 500 points gets you the Leafkin bed. I wonder what the rest of the login rewards look like. Pretty standard. Moogle bed. Crimson Chest is back. I think that's that one's not very common. It seems pretty standard otherwise. So that's cool. It's definitely a new model that's been added to the game. That's it for the login campaign. Next up, there is the campaigns announced for starting July 13th. I just read through these quickly. I don't believe there's anything major that needs to be pointed out, but I will kind of go down the list and basically, depending upon if you're a new player, a returning player, or a long-term player, what the individual parts of this campaign mean for you. And to start, the Abyssia campaign is great if you have never claimed it. There's a blue treasure chest placed near Horst in Port Juno. Opening this chest will give you, it says one of the following prizes, but I'm pretty sure you get all of them. Basically, it stocks you up with free Abyssia currency and whatnot, and Atmas for getting started. So easy way to jump into that older pieces of content. If you've never gotten this before, you're new or returning, this is great for you. Wildskeeper Reeves campaign. The big thing here, double HP bailed, so it's actually kind of lucrative gil-wise in order to do this. The big thing is it reduces the required fame and bailed costs of key item required to participate in Wildskeeper Reeves is reduced. They're very inexpensive. You can go in, you can auto-attack the bosses, certain bosses. You can auto-attack them to death. If you'd have to be prepared to do that, but basically you can earn a lot of bailed, and it doesn't cost you that much to do them, and you get double HP baileds, and some people still need gear from this content. Overall, good middle-of-the-road campaign. Some people who are fresh back will need this. Some players who are in the middle of the game need this, and endgame players might need the extra bailed or the extra HP bailed. It's good all around. Alter Ego campaign, very straightforward. They get a buff. Your alter egos get a buff. HP and MP, and stronger resistance to status ailments. Yeah. Campaign Fiesta. This one I don't really do, but I know that people have gotten like 100 pieces from this content. I messed with it a little bit a few years ago when I was back to the game, but I don't think this is quite worth the gil to spend your time doing, but I know some people still swear by it. So your mileage may vary. Campaign Fiesta. Campaign specifically referring to the actual thing called campaign in the game. It's the, from the past. Adolin Dial, ignore this. It fills your inventory full of junk, skirmish stones, and air elixirs. I mean, you could make a few 100K maybe over the course of the campaign. Maybe more if you're really lucky. I just don't even bother. I just store these keys and then throw them all out at the end of the campaign. Incursion. Monsters and notorious monsters will drop one additional item for the duration of the campaign. This is a great time to stock up on boxes. The tier 2 Ryzen Jima Gaia's Feet NMs. You just go in, you do a bunch of incursion, you walk out with a bunch of boxes, and you save them and use them for pops. Easy. If you don't know what that is, it probably doesn't apply to you. If you do know what that is, you may already have a bunch stored up. HTBF campaign. Now, this is an excellent moneymaker. You get Beitetsu boxes, Beitetsu cases, boulder boxes, Plutons. You get Rima mats. Players you can solo some of these. I know like good red mages solo Puppet and Peril often because of the way end spell damage works against that particular mob. This is the kind of thing where if you want to make the extra gil, or even if you're playing a couple characters or have some friends to go with you, everybody gets personal drops of Beitetsus and whatnot, and the harder difficulty you do, the greater drops you get. This campaign is great for anybody all around. You might want to ask, like in your link shell, or if you're a new or returning player, ask in your like social shell. Just say, hey, like this is what I have. This is my job. This is my level. This is my gear. Does anybody think I can handle any of these HTBFs? If so, you know, maybe help me figure out which one. But for just about anybody in the game, you can be doing these and making extra loot. Ryzen Jima Gaia's Feet Equipment Campaign. NMs yield an additional personal reward. Okay. Gaia's Feet, additional reward. Sometimes you get what you want in your pool. Most of the time you don't. It is what it is. It's only for Ryzen Jima. Just be aware of that. Dynamis Granules of Time. For the duration of the campaign, players will automatically receive all types of Granules of Time upon entering Dynamis. That's the older Dynamis zones. If you're in there, you want to go in there and farm currencies. Dreamland zones have this special proc system where you can proc for 100 pieces. It's a good time. If you want to be doing that, this is a good time to be doing it because you don't have to bother going to all the time extension statues. In general, if you want to just farm your old relic gear so you can upgrade it, another good time to be doing it because, again, you don't need to be going to the time extensions and you can save some time here. Hyper Chocobo Digging. You dig faster. Great. New or returning players, nobody really does Chocobo Digging currently. Macro Cosmic Orb Campaign. I used to do a bunch of this. Why? Is this the Iceal one? No, not Macro's not the Iceals. It's Rem's Tails. Yes, Rem's Tails and Vagary Mats. Yeah, this is where you stock up on your Rems 1 through 5s. Everything drops them. Right. So, Macro Cosmic Orb Campaign, this is where you can stock up on Rem's Tails 1 through 5. They drop like candy from, I believe, all of these fights. Find the best one that works for you. Find the difficulty you can handle. I know some of these fights, I believe the Dismemberment Brigade is the... No. Rim Shell Shock Troopers. It's a bunch of quadovs, and they all sleep. I think one of them has a harder time. Maybe the Black Mage has a harder time sleeping than the others. When I really need Rems 1 through 5, I'll come here. I'll just use my Bard, sleep everything, and then kill them one by one. They all do their SPs. Stock up on those chapters. You can also get Vagary Mats. Make a little extra money on the side, but stocking up on papers is really awesome. All right, so that was the login campaign. That's the upcoming campaigns. And now let's read the update notes. I haven't looked at these myself yet. I'm excited to see what they wrote. See what they kind of tend to tease things. It says, good day, adventurers. Matsui here. Before we get into the next version update, I have a few words to say about a recent bug fix. Vendor prices fluctuate for particular shops based on your progression in Odyssey, and certain items improperly did not have the correct minimum price set. Yep, I was aware of this. I specifically didn't say anything because I didn't want players to make the mistake of buying vendorable items and then selling them for a greater price than they bought them for. And I myself did not do that. So here they're going to talk about it. As such, it was possible to purchase certain non-limited items and sell them elsewhere to make a profit. It is undesirable for such large amounts of gil to circulate throughout the economy, so we set an appropriate limit on vendor prices as needed. Yeah, don't do this. If this ever happens again for whatever reason, don't ever do this if the opportunity arises. If something happens in the game where you can buy stuff from one vendor and sell to another, Square Enix can track they can track your sales, they can track your gil and how you obtained it. Don't mess with this ever. It's bad for you. Okay? That aside, They have went and patched this one. This says, we know that many of you have used the shop as one of the best places to vendor items in Vanadil. Yeah, correct. So here's something you still can do. Your monthly sparks, take your Ashron shields, sell them. Specifically, by the way, specifically, they didn't exactly explain what's going on here. Bumba, I think you have to have access. I think you have to have beaten like Bumba like V0 in order to sell to this shop. How is that breaking any rules if they make a mistake? The thing is, they can determine at any time what is against the rules of the game. So while I personally think that it's their fault, I would not partake in it. We also consider this to be an unintended behavior. Really? Selling your Ashron shields? Interesting. In light of this and other concerns about the effect on the economy, disruption to player convenience, and the fact that players are improperly using this vendor to generate large amounts of gil, we reserve the right to make additional changes going forward. I just thought we were getting a nice fame-based boost to NPCing items, but interesting that they're calling this unintended across the board. We'll have to see. It says we reserve the right to make any additional changes going forward. I think that they're happy with allowing players to sell here, but they don't want players straight up printing gil. It looks like they're going to keep it for now. Either way, if you have access to Bumba's shop where you can buy, where you get the option to basically buy the Niame gear or sell NPCable items, you can NPC things like Ashron shields or just general junk in your inventory for higher value than other shops in other towns. As far as I'm aware, you can get them, it's like 10% or something, 15%. This says, I would like to apologize to all players for any issues or inconvenience caused by the resolution of this issue. Without further ado, here are the updates for July. We are taking a month off from the Voracious Resurgence, which I assumed considering the way they worded their teaser post. And the battle team has prepared something special for you. A new high-tier battlefield. I am so curious. While we don't want to lift the curtain on your foe's identity just yet, I assure you, that we have new rewards available for those who tackle the challenges within. I am so curious what we're going to get here. Is this another Lilith where the gear is amazing, but you don't bother doing anything higher than easy? Or is this another Odin where you spam VD and try to get everybody the drops they want? The higher difficulty you go, the more drops you get, but it's relatively... Once you get a strategy down, you have a relatively high win rate, and you can just kind of spam it. I think that's the right place to be. But the Lilith model is actually still pretty interesting to me personally, and even though it feels like a mistake, I still kind of like the weird balance that it had. Anyway, I don't know who we're gonna get. If you got any guesses on who we're gonna get, throw them in the comments now, or tell you what, throw it in chat now, or throw it in the comments down below on this YouTube video. Let me know who you think we're gonna be fighting in this new high-tier battlefield. Next, expert ambuscades see the return of Sahagin. Oh no. Oh no. Is this the Sea Monk one? This one is... Oh. Get ready to do Ambu on difficult, friends. VD is a whole different game. Although, with Niame, yeah, gear creep. You might be right, Cam. Niame might push this battle into VD territory. It's still going to be difficult, I think. All right, so yes, be aware that this one was difficult on VD the last time it was. Not only just difficult, this was a master trial on VD last time it was out. This is while normal features a battle against mushrooms. Oh, mushrooms. Okay. When fighting them, it's best to remember that darkness is best banished using light. Aw. So how you handle the dark elemental present will be key. After all, mushrooms grow best where it's dark. It's kind of cool. Okay, other adjustments include a couple make-end changes that we believe will help improve game controls and performance on certain machines. I'm glad they're still doing things like this. This may have some effect on other areas as well, and we encourage you to look at the version update notes for more information. Summer is about to be in full swing, and I, for one, hope it will be a mild one. It's hot here in Jersey, man. Not that it matters much to me, as I'll be spending my time in Vanadil. See you there. Ambu, new items, new mobs, high-tier battlefields, new battlefield, new rewards. Odyssey, adjusted items, prices of items obtained from the Pilgrim Moogles, yeah. Titles, new titles. Menaging's Receiver. Oh. This is a small note that they didn't talk about. Menaging's Receiver is the key item you received at the end of Voracious Resurgence's last month that is supposed to tell you when Besieged is happening while you're in other zones, but it wasn't working. So here, it looks like they added the list of supported areas. Performance adjust drawing for certain GPUs. I am very curious what this means. Oh boy. Get ready for something to break, chat. Battle related. Adjust certain monsters in accordance with removal of level difference penalty. I believe they are adjusting the monster levels in treasure zones still. I don't fully know what's going on with that. New items to Porter Moogle and new items in general. Got it. Yep. This is a cool looking update. At first I was kind of upset they weren't continuing on to VR. I was really hoping to see. I felt like they were going to be doing this month was going to be like okay, VR is about to get good. You better be prepared. We're going to a new zone or whatever that is. But they're stopping. They're giving us an HTBF. I think that next month we're going to get a VR update that is going to set the pace for the rest of the content. That's my call. So we'll see. Next and final element on the list, 20th Vaniversary Commemorative Plan We Are Vana'diel site launched on July the 7th. In preparation for the 20th anniversary of FFXI, we are pleased to announce the launch of the We Are Vana'diel website. At first time I read this headline, it reminded me of the Refriender that they released a few years ago. Maybe some people got some benefit out of it. As far as I know, nobody used the thing, but you keep reading and you realize it's something different. This site will serve as a hub for a variety of information leading up to the 20th anniversary in the next year. Oh, great. A place to keep communicating with us that isn't just this Play Online interface or in-game interface. It's like a legit website. We're going to go see it in just a second. This site includes snippets not just from the development and operations teams, but players as well, and aims to provide a comprehensive one-stop shop for all manner of Final Fantasy XI content. Cool, it's just a more modern website. Whether you are a current or former adventurer in the world of Vana'diel, you'll be able to find absolutely anything related to the 20th Vaniversary. This is something you can link your friends to. This is something you can link on your socials and not feel embarrassed about, right? Because Play Online, this is not a linkable website. This is straight out of 2003 or whatever, okay? But here we go. Check it out. We Are Vana'diel. FFXI contents. Like looks like dev notes, illustrations. We've got a very modern. Oh, new Amano art. Yes, look at this. Interesting. What can we glean from this? I just see basically the races. There's two black mages in the front. This black mage is holding Gungnir. Is this Monk AF? Holding a sword? They're flip-flopping all the weapon system on its head. Is this Mizero Coast? Is this that spot in Mizero where you go to Eshka Ruan? That's that bridge right there? I don't know, so many questions. So at the 20th surprises, all weapons can be used by any job. That means I can do Farsha on my thief. Finally, everything I ever wanted. I could translate these pages and look at them a little further. Here's an interview of some sort. But this is probably its own video. So we're gonna call it here. Thank you so much for hanging out and checking out this video. Catch me on my Twitch stream at twitch.tv/ScottyDeluxe, where I stream every Monday through Thursday. Yeah, so check me out on there. Links are down below. But otherwise, I'll see you next time, and peace. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's really satisfying. So it's this weird balance, right? Lilith felt more like a master trial, where when you got up to like VD, there were ways to beat it that were not like a master trial. You could just like scholar cheese it, or there was another method, I believe, like a magic bursting. I forget. But you didn't kill the extra little dudes, so your drop rate, you can only ever get one drop slot anyway. So it sort of felt like a master trial, and like, let's actually win this battle the right way and kill all the little dudes and hopefully get a couple of drops. Of course, the community found that the easier thing to do is just beat it on easy, right? But that is actually kind of an interesting dynamic, is the players who want to try and have a harder difficulty challenge had the opportunity to do so without the regular player base feeling like they were exempt from the rewards that Battlefield offered.